this theme is mental health is a universal right, as of course is something that WHO prescribes every year. And in schools, it is almost very essential to ensure that every student has a right to a safe and supportive environment that protects them from mental health risks, along with access to high quality mental health care that is readily available, culturally sensitive, and respectful of each and every student's needs. And this approach definitely fosters independence, inclusion, and a sense of belonging within this entire school community that we have. To reinforce this theme, we are facilitating today's panel discussion through a new lens, is what we have titled it, in order to highlight the diverse perspectives that we will see today. And as all of you represent different walks of life, we have with us a principal, a psychologist, a teacher, an entrepreneur, as well as students. And of course, this will provide us with an intersectional lens to delve into this entire idea of accessibility of mental health as a universal right.
Students have to really counter so many emotions, and emotional quotient is what we have to strengthen. And the mental health programs in the school brings this together for the students to brave the situations. You are the bravest ones, my dear students who are sitting there, the 10th and the 11th and the 12th graders, because we have already achieved what we wanted to.
I think it's important to have an environment of acceptance and inclusivity. Only then will we be able to know that okay, people are going through things.
As a student of the generation Alpha, I believe it's essential to cultivate self-confidence and self-love. So firstly, by embracing our uniqueness and imperfections, as no one in this world is perfect. This being imperfect makes us unique, and it makes us who we really are.
It's really stressful these days as teachers. It's very important to protect ourselves physically and, of course, with all the mental health, because if we are fit and good, and that is when we can do justice to the students at work, which is really important.
Intervene early, then we can prevent a lot of things before it happens, and we can catch on things, risky behaviors and children who are who need help. And help is, as I always say, help is always available. So there are certain things, if we bring on early intervention, we can promote healthy relationships with yourself, with your parents, with your teachers, the whole triad of people.
Like we have to set clear boundaries. Okay, so we have to set it like, okay, this is my time for the work, and this is my time for staying in home, and I want to dedicate my time for my personal well-being. And then we have to prioritize self-care. I think these things are really works well for both even for schools and also professionals.
I would like to say that as you progress through the years of life, you grow with that knowledge, right? So every year you gain some or the other form of knowledge. So of course, by other people who are in your life, or even by yourself, you are expected to perform to the caliber of the knowledge that you have gained every year.
You should be mature enough to handle your emotions. You should be mature enough to have control over what you think and what you say. Sometimes we children do not have control over that, but yet we use social media.
People really look up to influencers and they follow everything they do. And if you have that responsibility, if you have like followers, people following you, you have to be very responsible in what you post and what you dipping.
Next on the panel, we have a social media influencer, Raksha Shetty, Miss Raksha Shetty. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing us with your presence. She is a seasoned professional in the aviation industry with over 7 years of experience, extends her influence as a social media figure with a dedicated following of 132,000 plus followers on social media. She actively promotes the aviation sector and advocates for fitness and a healthy lifestyle, acknowledging the responsibility that comes with her extensive reach.
So I think, again, we'll shift focus and we'll talk to another professional who is a social media manager. So I think bringing forth a different perspective, Ms. Raksha. I'll just get across the question to you. So in the age of Insta therapy, where a lot of advice, like I said, is available online, and the algorithm actually pushes some content right on our reels and on our stories and our posts. So how do we defeat the algorithm, and how do we see what is right and what is misinformation?
Instagram algorithm can get really daunting at times. Let's say you had a bad day, or you had a breakup, or you're going through some issues with your parents. Say you come across a quote or a post on Instagram, which is, relatable to your current situation, and you sort of get into that self-realization mode, and you like or share that particular post on Instagram. And it's highly unlikely that you wouldn't. Now you have engaged yourself in that content, that you would kind of either question your current emotional state or justify it, depending on whether you want to feel bad about it or you want to feel great about it. The algorithm which would catch that will keep, will keep it, will keep the algorithm would catch that and will keep throwing that at you again and again. Now, as an individual, you need to make right choices, because if you put yourself in that loop, you would easily turn into a narcissist. Whatever content you would be giving through, or whatever advice you get through from your peers or your colleagues or the influencer or people in general. Let's say you read a book, or you would think over it a lot, right? And eventually adopt that kind of thinking, which could be either good or bad. And I don't think so. Algorithm is, it's doing any good for us. It's not anyone's friend,
Mm-hmm.
because the social media algorithm are built, in such a way that you get content which you are actually engaging in. So to retain yourself much longer in that platform, you this algorithm and this things work. Now that would not benefit you in any ways. So I think it's like it doesn't benefit us in any way.
Hmm.
That's what I believe in.
Right. Like, I think I would just like to repeat the sentence, and I think it sums it up, that algorithm is nobody's friend, right? And of course, we know data mining, and we see how things just appear on our screens. Even if we just think about it, it feels like, oh, I just thought about this product and it's on my screen, right? So that is how interconnected technology and the human brain, and even just the human existence, has become. So I think I would just again like to ask one more question from you. In this, again, in this age where we are so easily influenced, what responsibilities do influencers really have in promoting positive health messages, regarding mental health, on their own platforms or in collaboration with other people or accounts? Miss Raksha, I think you're on mute. You would have to unmute yourself. No problem. Yeah,
I
that's
think social media to conduct mental health awareness is an effective initiative, as one can reach out to several people, or the people they follow, or the people they admire over a short period of time. There is an increasing trend in the awareness of mental health with the effective use of digital media as a platform for disseminating information. People really look up to influencers, and they follow everything they do. And if you have that responsibility, if you have like followers, people following you have to be very responsible in what you post and what uh, depict. Influencer have huge responsibility when it comes to filtering out the content which they put forward. Depending upon the demographic of the audience that they are catering to. Let's say if I am an influencer who is influencing the age group of 10 to 15 years of kids, then I have to be more responsible than those who are, catering the audience of 20 to 25 years. Because there the audience are mature. Here, these kids, they are just the fans. They'll do whatever you do. They just follow you. So yes, influencer have to be more responsible, um, because people follow them. People look up to them.